ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Kick It Podcast, brought to you live from the Kick It Lab studio every single Monday, every single week. My name is Victor V, joined by my brother and co-host Bruce.
Yo.
We got no Louie, we got no Lens, but we do have Piccolo in the back holding another production in the green room, and we have a amazing and special episode for you guys. I understand Monday Night Football, whatever, but hey, bear with us. It's gonna be great. But before we get started with our very, very awesome guest, I do want to wish a very happy birthday to my brother and co-host Brewski, his dirty 30 birthday. So, bro, wish we had a cake for you, but we also have a guest. But happy birthday, bro.
What kind of cake?
Mm,
What kind of cake do you wish I got?
probably tres leches.
A tres leche? Damn, all right. I would want a flan instead. Big ass flan, you know.
Okay. We're gonna work on that. Production, please help us out. All right, but without further ado, we are joined by an amazing guest. You guys might already know who I may be talking about, but we are joined today by Ben, the host of Talking Friars podcast. Big on YouTube, big on basically any streaming platform. He talks nothing but Friars. He talks nothing but Padres baseball. But we got Ben joining us. Ben, thank you so much for kicking it with us, bro.
Welcome.
No, thank you for having me. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no, we definitely can hear you now, dude. I mean, for everybody out there in the audio and visual universe, we did have a couple of instances where we didn't know if the interview was going to happen because we were having audio issues, but we got it clear. Ben's with us, and again, Ben, thank you, man. Super stoked, and I know you were probably having trouble with traffic, so again, bro, thank you for joining us and doing this.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so I do want to start off with the viewers getting to know you. Could you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, starting where you are originally from?
Yeah, born and raised in San Diego in La Mesa. And so we're like 15, 20 minutes away from Petco Park. And so that's been like my family and I, that's been our thing. Pretty much my whole life is Padres baseball. So, and then especially once that other team that's playing tonight, once they left, it got probably even stronger as well. So, yeah, we've had season tickets. We had them when I was really young. Don't remember that. Then had them when the All-Star game came in 2016. That's where, so now it's been what's math here? 9 years.
9 years.
9 years. Yeah. So been through the blue Padres, the sucky Padres, and now hopefully we can, get a World Series here.
Hell yeah, dude! I 100% agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. The sand, the navy, it was okay, but it wasn't my favorite. I think anybody that's a real diehard, golden yellow is like a guarantee appeal. But I mean, you got to go back to the '90s, man. That navy and orange is special out here in San Diego.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they bring that back for the City Connects next year. I think there's been rumors about it, but it hasn't officially been announced or anything like that. But yeah, the some like 98 inspired would be pretty cool.
Hey Ben, so you said you were a season ticket holder, or your family is still probably a season ticket holders at Petco Park. But what made you decide, or how did you come up with the idea to reach out to these players and really start talking Friars?
Yeah, so it started during pretty much COVID, where there wasn't a whole lot to do. And I've always had a passion for the Padres. And I talked about it with my family, obviously. But I felt like I could go like deeper and talk pretty much every day about it. And sometimes my family, no offense to them, like they don't go that deep into it every day. So it was a place for me to do that. And there's other Padres fans that are super passionate about the team as well. And so, yeah, like I wasn't aiming for this to be big or anything like that. I just really was trying to find something to do. And then I'm like, I'm going to keep doing this because why not? Like I'm having fun with it. And then it continued to grow. And it's kind of like, well, I'm not going to stop doing this now. Like there's a lot of people that enjoy what I'm doing. So I'm not going to stop doing it. So yeah, it's something that obviously it gets you away from what you're doing in your everyday life. And so hopefully that's something that fans enjoy as well. If they have a long day or something, they can come and, be entertained, talk about their favorite team. And I'm just a fan. Like I'm not a member of the media, like the Padres, they don't give me credentials. They don't allow me to interview current players or even broadcasters, even when they say yes that they would come on the show. That doesn't happen. Like they don't even allow
Huh.
that. So, like, I really am just a fan, and I think, at least I think, fans do appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I think 100%, dude. Like, cause your content is so unique, compared to what you get in the radio or you get in ESPN or some of the more mainstream medias. Your niche is, like you said, a little bit more of a fan appeal, and you could feel it every single episode when you're doing your interviews, bro. And now that you mentioned like you reaching out to like all these bigger names, that kind of sets me up to my question because like I've seen your episodes, bro. You've got a chance to interview Hosmer, uh, Coach John Quintera, I think maybe even Will Myers. But how is it that you were able to actually get in contact and make the interviews happen?
With those, so those members of the media, it's just reaching out to them directly, and I think that a lot of members of the media now know who I am, and so sometimes they will say yes. And then so it's really for me, like just reach out. What's the worst thing that could happen? You don't get a response, or they say no, and you just move on, like whatever. With Haas, I was like a lot of other Padres fans. I was frustrated with his Padres tenure, and I don't think we got closure there. He didn't speak to a member of the media after he was gone from the Padres, and once he retired, to talk about his Padres tenure and to just be asked the straight up questions and it be on camera, and are people, is he going to actually give a good response? And so I reached out to his, once he started his podcast, I was like, I'm going to reach out to this company that he had, and I'm going to say I'm not a member of the media, I'm a Padres fan. I think Padres fans would respect if Haas would go to speak to another Padres fan, not a member of the media, not trying to go get you, but just answer questions straight up from another Padres fan that has watched, pretty much every at bat, every game, every error, and just tell me the answers that Padres fans want to know. And props to him, he did take accountability for the lack of production and it not being what he wanted it to be. But yeah, like that's just who I am. If players don't want to be asked straight up questions, then they're not going to come on. And I'm talking about former players that have Clayton Richard and Adam Rosales and Greg Garcia and Kurt Bavacqua and Andy Ashby. Like I've had these former players on, and like I'm going to ask them straight questions. If they're not going to answer it, then it's not going to make for a very great interview, but I'm going to probably keep asking it. But yeah, that's just who I am. Like I'm not going to shy away from that. It's going to be those difficult, maybe it's a difficult question for some, but I'm just a fan and I want to know what other fans want to know. And so really that's all that is.
Gotcha. And honestly, that interview right there is gold, bro. Probably I don't know how many views you got off of that, but I know it was circulating everywhere on Twitter, dude. It was you did a phenomenal job with
Thank you.
interviewing Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, and speaking about asking questions as a Padres fans for other Padres fans, what other goals and what kind of insights do you try to bring to your audience when you do these episodes?
I mean, I'm someone that reads pretty much every article and watches the post games and watches the games. So really it's just from a dialed in fan perspective. And I'm not going to BS my audience. Like if I didn't watch a game because I was busy working, then I'm not going to do a reaction to that game. I don't know if some members, I can't speak for them. Maybe some don't watch games and then they watch highlights and then they go react to it. And for me, that's not right to my audience. Like if I see something, if I'm watching something, then I'll react to it. But if I'm not, then I'm not going to act like I was. So yeah, just you're always going to get honesty from me. And yeah, that's that. Like in the future for goals and stuff like that, like I'm doing this for fun. But at the same time, like if I do have an opportunity to interview Haas or something like that, I'm going to take that opportunity and really speak for the fans because that's what they deserve. So yeah.
Okay,
Right on, bro.
Great answer.
Hey, so all right, Ben. So like, take me back, bro, because like you said you started the show just as a fan, but like now hindsight, you're 5 years in. have you thought about like maybe doing a career out of this, like maybe doing journalism or getting more into like sports talk or stuff like that?
Yeah, the thing is with that is like I've been on John and Jim on San Diego Sports 760. I've had some 97.3 The Fan hosts on my show. I've talked with the boss at 97.3 The Fan. Like having those types of jobs, it's hard to get. Also, it's not a job that it's not great job security, as we've seen unfortunately with people that get laid off. Those hosts pretty frequently. We just saw Darren Smith and Marty Caswell, John Quintero recently, Annie Hollowbrun and Craig Elston. Like it happens
Mhm.
pretty frequently, and it sucks. But so like really, I I, I want to do this on like my terms, and I have another full time job that I absolutely love, and so really like it's the best of both worlds. Like I don't have the pressure of having to do it every day, but it's something that because I'm not doing it every day, it's whenever I do it, it's always going to be a passion of mine. I'm not going to get like, too tired of it, if that makes sense. So, um, if it was something that was more stable, maybe. I did go to school a little bit with journalism, but like in terms of long term and job stability and stuff like that, it's really not the best. So that's the answer that I'd give on that.
No, no, I think I see where you're getting at that, man. Because like I don't understand, man. I listen to the fan almost religiously. I mean, I can't say every day, but I try to. And yeah, man. You're in, and if you're hot and your show hits, you stay, and if not, then they'll find the next act. And with writing, I mean, that's kind of dying off. People just want visual content, so it's a little bit
Yep.
of a different industry at this point. Uh, and to be honest, man, like with the radio show, it's like it's a part time gig. It's not a full time job, you know. So like I completely understand where you're coming from, bro.
Yeah, for sure. It's those that do it, like there are things that they probably don't like about the job, but it's also a really cool job to have. But how long are they going to have it? That's Ben and Woods, like they'll have it forever because of, the time slot. They're on 97.3 The Fan. They're loved by a lot of people, but that's not every show. So, and there's sometimes, not to get too deep into it, but like there are bosses that these hosts have that aren't in San Diego. And so you've got people making decisions, and those people that are good at their jobs, like Darren Smith, like Marty Caswell, they're good at their jobs, but the people that are making the decisions, I'm pretty sure are not in market. They just see those people as a number on the amount of money that they have to pay. And so they're just like, you know what? It's not a big market. We can put on a national show, or we can just get cheaper and lay those people off when they deserve to be still employed. But that's the sucky part about it.
No, that's a great point, man. Because you like you said, sometimes your boss is not even from San Diego. They don't necessarily understand the culture that well, and for them to be making the main call to be like, okay, we're gonna remove you, even though you had a good pull, you had a good crowd. Oh man, it must be a really tough feeling. Damn.
Oh, definitely. But in Instagram, we do have a question from one of the viewers. He has a
Yeah.
question for the panel. He says, and this is from Humble Photography. Thank you for tapping in. Why not use Suarez to fill in for Adams around the seventh inning, and use Miller as our closer?
What I would say with that is I think Mason Miller is the Padres' best reliever, but Robert Suarez is comfortable in the ninth inning. And sometimes the most crucial outs, especially come postseason time, don't come in the ninth inning. You could be facing the Phillies and you have Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber up at the plate. And what, you want Robert Suarez pitching the eighth inning, or do you want your best reliever to be pitching in that spot, which is Mason Miller? So for me, I'd still have Mason Miller be the guy that's pitching the most crucial situation, and then Robert Suarez be pitching the ninth inning. The majority of the time, he gets the job done. The guy has what, 38 saves, I think, this season. So Mason Miller's nasty, but I'd like him to be kind of like the Andrew Miller for the Padres instead of being Cody Allen for the then Cleveland Indians in 2016, where he was like strictly the ninth inning guy.
Thanks for that answer, Ben. So humble photography. Hopefully you got your response, and I completely agree with you, Ben. I mean, like let's focus on this current season because maybe next season Miller may be the closer, but for now, as a setup guy, he's that's his job, bro. You could play the whole lefty righty thing when it comes to the closer, but Suarez is at this point your best option. I mean, it sucks that he's been giving up home runs the last couple of games, but he's still the best option out there.
He just got the job done yesterday.
Hey, facts.
There you go. What are some aspects and what variables and what's your process in forming the questions that you have for your guests? Like what are the main points that you look forward to these guests? Does it vary, like who comes on, or is there like a formula for you?
Yeah, it varies based on who comes on, of course, because these are different people with different backgrounds and different things I'm curious about with those people that I bring on. But really, like, if you're asking like how much homework I do or, those certain questions, like my homework's done every day by watching the team and by watching whoever I'm having on, for example. If I'm having on a member of the media, like I'm probably going to be listening to their show anyway. I'm going to know what they've been talking about. I'm going to know about what's going on with the team. So it's not like I have to spend a ton of time doing that. And I'd rather have it be more conversational than just be a list of questions, because I feel like conversations are just more entertaining to listen to or watch than if I was just going to be like, all right, next question. He gives an answer, and then I go ask something that's totally different and has nothing related to it. And maybe there was something I could have followed up on that would have created, more of a conversation. And instead, I just went to a question that has nothing to do with that. So, yeah, I like it to be more conversational. If you were to listen to me like early on, I was pretty much going down a list. But since then, I've obviously, adapted and learned.
Gotcha. That's a great way.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I think the organic way is probably the best way to go, just in the whole podcast area, because the Q&A, it's cool. It helps you with getting your point across and getting specific content. But like overall, like you want to get to know them like as who they are, not necessarily because they're this star or this media member. Like you want to know the real them. So kudos to you, bro. And again, it really shows in the way that you've developed your show over the years. And man, I can't wait to see how you review the Padres against the Mets this upcoming series.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that should be an entertaining series. The Mets have been struggling recently, so hopefully the Padres, like I said yesterday, they're catching the Mets at the right time. But at the same time, the Mets, they do have talent obviously on that team, and the Padres, they have shown that they can go stretches without scoring very many runs. So, and also Michael King's going tomorrow, so that's still a little bit of a question mark.
I feel that, dude. I mean, I think last time he went up, it was maybe like 3-4 innings that he did, gave up a home run. Might have been 2 home runs. I can't really remember, but yeah, dude, Michael King needs to sharpen up right before the playoffs. I mean, we're only a couple weeks away.
Yeah, and he's got like 3 or 4 starts. I think 4 starts left if you include tomorrow. And really, it's building up because this team's going to be a playoff team, and then he's going to be starting game 2 of a wild card series with Pivetta probably game 1 and Darvish a possible game 3. So just building up, being efficient with his pitch count. He is a swing and miss guy, can be at times for sure, as we saw in that wild card series last year. So I'm hoping that we can see more of that starting tomorrow.
Yo, dude, I dig your vision, like, because without hesitation, you're already saying that Pivetta might end up being the starter for the first playoff game, which is bold. I mean, everybody is thinking maybe Michael King, but
he's earned it.
I think so too.
He's been the best Padres starting pitcher this year.
I agree 100% because like Michael King would be cool, but he's just been out for so long. Like, how do you know how well he's going to perform compared to Pivetta? I mean, don't get me wrong, Randy Vasquez is also pretty solid in my opinion, but Pivetta is definitely 100% the ace of the staff for 2025.
Yeah, he's been healthy. He's been making quality starts pretty consistently. If you watch his starts, like he reminds me of Joe Musgrove with his competitiveness. So he kind of replaced Joe in the rotation that way. And yeah, like in a wild card series, sure, Randy has had some good starts this year, but I'm going with my big three, and it's pretty clear the big three are Pavetta, King, and Darvish. And Dylan Cease is not included in that,
No.
partly because he hasn't been consistent enough, and I just don't trust him in big games.
Yeah, I think we saw that last year, so I'm not gonna take another chance.
And we've seen it this year in the big regular season games, as big as you can get. Games against the Dodgers where he'll start off really good and then he gives up 5 runs, and it's like, well, those runs count, and we can't have that happening in games where literal season's on the line if you lose that game.
Hey, bro. So take me to the way that you analyze these games, because you mentioned it briefly. You don't necessarily get a chance to watch every single game out of the 162, but how many games would you say that you actually watched throughout the whole season, and how engaged are you in every single game that you do watch?
Yeah, it used to be pretty much 100% of them. I watch 100% of at least the highlights, the condensed game highlights, the like 10-minute highlights. But now I'd say it's like 80%. Just because of the job that I have, like I literally can't. But no, I'm watching a really good amount of them. And when I am watching the games, I'm locked in. I'm not, looking up at the screen every once in a while. Like, no, I'm watching the games. I'm tweeting out the clips of what's going on in the games. So yeah,
Whoa, dude! So you like grab the clip right there live, like you record the screen and then you just tweet it out?
yep,
Yo,
exactly.
impressive. Okay.
I think part
Dedicated.
of it because it happens because I think the Padres could do a better job at posting clips of their own games. But yeah, like I give credit to the guys at Talking Yanks with John Boy. They did that, and so I talked with one of their guys and kind of got started doing that when I was in college, and have done it ever since. And I think, I mean, it's something that I don't see any other accounts doing. Um, they'll post like the home runs and stuff, but like things like the other day there was a quick review, throw to second base. Like no one's posting that sort of stuff where it's like that deep like that and that small of a thing that happened in a game, but people are interested in it. So I really try, especially the games that I'm able to watch the whole game. Usually have my laptop and I'm doing that because I think it can be better from, especially when it's the official team account. I think they could do a better job.
100%, man. I think the Padres social media team is uh, probably one of the top tens in MLB when it comes to like creating content. But I feel like when it comes to highlights and stuff like that, they only emphasize on like the big moments. They don't give you or dissect most of the plays that people are actually talking about. Like they never mention anything about the kid that ran on the field that got tackled the other day, which was like maybe a month ago now. But
Well, I get why they're not going to promote that because they don't want kids doing
yeah,
that every night. But um, what I'm what I'll say is like post if Nick Pavetta strikes out 10 people, 2 minutes later have a clip of all 10 strikeouts. Something like that. You're the Padres. Like I'm pretty sure you have access to all of it. So yeah, like if I can do some of that stuff, then I'm pretty sure they could.
So you mentioned right now briefly that you have like a contact with John Boy. Like, uh, talk to us about that. Like, how was it that you initiated that relationship?
It's not with the big guy Jimmy O'Brien, but it's someone at John Boy, and it was really just reaching out to them on social media. It was years ago,
Okay.
so I forget even what platform it was, but yeah, just reach out to them, and they got on a Zoom with me, and yeah, they were willing to talk things through and what they did and what I do, kind of share ideas. So yeah, that's how that happened.
Oh, cool. So it's not like one of your episodes. It was just like a one on
No,
one. Oh, that's cool, bro.
yeah, yeah. So I did. I've had their producer on the show when the whole like Soto Yankees trade thing was happening, and so did that. But yeah, I've had some pretty big ones on MLB Network, Lauren Shahadi, Christopher Mad Dog Russo. At the winter meetings, I talked with Mark DeRosa, Ken Rosenthal, I think John Heyman. But yeah, it's really just like having the confidence to go up to them and try to talk to them. And usually you're able to.
Wait, so you got a media pass for the winter meetings, or just online while the meetings were
No,
happening?
no. With the winter meetings, you can literally sit there in the lobby. You don't need a media pass. So
Oh, word.
I didn't like talk to, like the manager media scrum. That's for members of the media. But now Schilt was not the manager at the time. But like I saw him walking through the lobby and went and talked to him for a couple minutes. This was when he was, you know, I think first year, going into first year with the Padres. But yeah, like you can literally just go talk to big guys as they're walking through the lobby.
Okay, I think I remember this. This was when it was in La Costa, right?
No, the winter meetings was the Grand Hyatt in San Diego downtown. La
Oh, okay,
Costa
gotcha,
was, I think, the GM meetings.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Dang, dude, you're like you're in there, bro. Hey, within a couple of years, you might end up being just a big member of the media.
We'll see.
Dang,
Right.
what do you think, Bruce? This is nuts, dude.
It is nuts, bro. I mean, just the content that you bring and like the potential. Have you ever had like any big sponsorships approach you and give you any offers to like to escalate the show further or develop even more further to the next level?
So right now I have Gaglione Bros, as you see behind me.
Yes, sir. You on the
They're at
job?
Petco Park, obviously, so like they're great. I'm a loyal person, and they were my first sponsor, my first partner, and so I've kept. I'm not going to say it, but like I've kept the same price for them per month. Haven't raised it. Like I'm not going to. I don't care how big it gets, just because like they were my first one, and so like I really appreciate that from them. But yeah, I have them. SeatGeek is not really like as much of a partner as they are, but it's like I give you the code. If you go get tickets through that code, then I get some of that money. Same thing with Breaking Tea, the t-shirt brand.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I have those. Um, but yeah, I've supported Freestyle Cut and Stitch. They do the custom basketball jerseys. So yeah, I definitely try to have local partners as well. So that's where we have Gaglione Bros for sure.
Oh, that's cool,
Okay.
dude. Yeah, I mean their fries are super bomb, dude. Especially when you're at the ballpark, just hanging out, watching the game. Yeah, they come in
Yep.
clutch.
Yep.
All right, well, you know what? Since we're talking about food, I mean, I know you're gonna say Gaglio Bros is probably the best, but well, what are your go-to like foods down at Petco Park?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the three main things that they have are the garlic fries, the cheesesteak fries, and then the cheesesteaks. Any three of those really good. I think it's pretty good for the price as well. If I'm gonna go somewhere other than that, I love the tri-tip nachos. Like
Classic.
who doesn't?
Okay.
Um, and then the Hodad's fries are pretty good. Um, I'm really simple. Like I pretty much keep it to that. Is Gaglione's tri-tip nachos. That's really my main two there.
Okay. All right, and back again, dude. You mentioned the whole season tickets. How many games do you go to per season?
We have half seasons, so that's 40. With my schedule, I haven't been able to go to all 40. But I would say probably between 20 and 30. Yeah, this year. Years past, it was like pretty much 40, all 40. But no, this year, definitely more than 20 and probably around 30.
All right, on, dude. Hopefully, I get it. Hopefully, I get to see you in the ballpark one of these days. That'll be kind of cool to catch up.
Yeah, of course.
And then, I also want to go ahead and ask this because you've been a Padres fan even like from the transition from Qualcomm Stadium to Petco Park now that what we have. What is one of the fondest memories you have with that you had back in the days with Qualcomm Stadium? Right? 'Cause that's
I'm not that old. No, no, no.
no,
Well,
Um,
nah, the queue is like back in
yeah,
the
that's
'90s,
back
bro.
in the 90s.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's my family. Yeah, they can tell you about that.
Got it.
But no,
Has
Petco. I can say Petco though.
okay.
2016 All Star Game sticks out. Seeing Giancarlo, hit bombs at Petco like that in the home run derby. Um, Haas that was interesting, obviously, because of what was to come with him and his Padres tenure, but winning All-Star Game MVP in 2016. But the best moment was 2022. I was there, Game 4, NLDS, where Crony had that go-ahead hit and they knocked off the Dodgers. Yeah, that's a moment that I'll never forget. I'll never forget where I was. It was raining. Nobody was in their seats. All the small things, obviously, in the eighth inning, like it was just tremendous.
All right,
That's
bro.
right.
So running back real quick, where were you sitting 2022 in October?
Yeah, I was down the right field line, upper deck. So Kyle Schwarber in the NLCS where he was hitting bombs. There was the bomb he hit off of Darvish, but I think earlier in the at bat he hit a foul ball that was crushed, and this is upper deck down the right field line, and it's like pretty close to the foul pole in the upper deck, and he crushes it over our heads. So we knew he was going to be on it against Darvish, and then he obviously crushes the homer, like the longest homer hit at Petco or whatever. So yeah, that's where I was. I don't remember the exact section, but it was way down the right field line.
Yeah, it was like the 200s or something, right?
Three, if I look at the map, it's probably like 320 something.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like
All right.
yeah, way down.
All right.
Because
Yeah, no, because
that's not our normal seats, but because of seniority, like we weren't able to get our normal seats, so they just threw us wherever they threw us, and so that's where we were.
got you, dude. Yeah, no, because I'm asking just because I also happened to be at that same game that day, and I remember it clearly, dude. One of my fondest memories as a Padre fan, dude. Like, you go into Petco Park, it was slightly sunny. There was a big ass rainbow. It was sprinkling, and then the game happened, and then right as soon as they won it, it started kind of drizzling again, and like, I dude, downtown just went nuts, and that's when Will Meyer bought everybody shots. Like, I'll never forget it, bro. I was at Gallagher Square just enjoying it, dude. It was one of the best feelings. Like, I feel I predict that that's probably how the World Series feels like once you win it, but like, goddamn, that day was special.
And I don't care what that other fan base says about, oh, that was your World Series. Like, as a Padres fan in my life, like that was the first time that I had felt that sort of thing. And so, like, there's a lot of people that make fun of the video of me crying when the Padres beat the Dodgers, um, that my mom was filming and I had no idea she was filming. But yeah, I don't care. Like, that was just pure emotion. And that's just something that, I mean, this team, the city means so much to me and so much to so many people. And so that just happens. And obviously, they didn't go to the World Series that year, didn't win the World Series, but that's how much I hate LA. And just winning that series, it felt like it was something, especially how good they were that year, over what 111 wins or whatever it was. They felt like there was no way they were going to, and then they did in 4 games, not even 5, and they did it at home, and it was a comeback. Just the way that it happened, it was magical.
I couldn't agree more, bro. It was special. You could feel it in the air that day. Hey, but talking a little bit of LA, since you mentioned it. So you were saying that you maybe somehow followed the team that left town. You recall any of those memories
Yes, I was at the last game.
versus
And
Chiefs?
yes, yep.
Dude, I think we're living the same life, dude. I was there too at the end
Yeah, you
zone.
were.
God damn.
Yeah. I was sitting in the upper deck, and I remember my parents initially, like, because I was saying like I'll pay for my ticket, and they didn't really want to pay for everything because it was expensive even in the upper deck. But I'm like, I had a really good feeling this was going to be their last game, and I'm like, I need to be there. And when it was over, it wasn't because they lost. Like, I remember crying, and there was the security guard that was like telling people that they had to leave. And my mom was like, "Why are you crying? Is it because they lost?" And I'm like, "No, like this is it." And yeah, just a really bad memory. And I just don't really follow the NFL anymore, and I don't really follow football really anymore. And that's just how it is. Like, especially, it wasn't just them going to another city. Like, they went to LA, and that's where it's like, all right, that's it. So like people that are fans of that team still and they live in San Diego, I just don't get it. I really don't get it.
No, gotcha, man. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Like after the Bolts left, like I just stopped caring about football, stopped following football, and it just didn't interest me as much personally. And just seeing what the Padres were doing, what Peter Seiler was doing with the squad, and the way they turned it around, and that feeling they were bringing back to baseball, they really turned San Diego into a baseball town. Like, well, I mean, until now that you get SDFC, which I've seen a couple of your video clips. You're also reviewing SDFC, but man, all of San Diego loves baseball, dude. Like, there's so many people that I know now that just a few years back they didn't give a rat's ass about baseball, and now they're out there chopping it up, trying to talk up innings here and there, and I'm like, dude, that's amazing the type of culture that we have down here in San Diego.
Yeah, and a lot of that credit goes to Peter because, and there's other cities that are called some Padre fans, bandwagon fans, and all that, but it's like some people weren't exposed to it very much. If the team wasn't good, then maybe their parents weren't watching the games, so the kids weren't exposed to it. But now that they're good, these kids have been exposed to it in their whole lives, and now they're going to be Padres fans, and then their kids will be Padres fans. And so I don't think it's that hard of a concept to understand, but some people they're going to go with their narratives that they have. But yeah, like what Peter did, um, his wife is tremendous, and it's still crazy like seeing when she tags me on social media for stuff that I posted, and I'm like, wow, that's actually Shield that's tweeting and tagging me, or Don Orsillo, or when he does it or whatever. Like, it's pretty cool. But yeah, like Peter did, like, all credit to him. Um, sure, players had to come, but no other owner had done what he did. Um, More were worried about their own pockets instead of bringing a championship to San Diego. And so, yeah, he like set the standard, and now if that standard's not met, then you've got a whole city that's mad at you. So, yeah, all credit to him.
No, 100%, bro. I think it's different now walking around San Diego. Yeah, the internet trolls, they're gonna call us whatever they call us, and we actually had Braden on. I think it might have been last Kick It podcast season,
It was last season.
and he was explaining to us why San Diego is such a small market, and it made sense, like the way that he explained it to us. But like you said, bringing all these new Padres fans, uh, building these new Padres fans, whether they're located just here in San Diego or they're at a different state or they used to live in San Diego, they started following the team once again, and now they're fans wherever they might call home now. It's insane to me. Like, again, just that culture that was built and that is currently trending here in San Diego. Like, it's nuts, bro. Like, I mean, Manny's dope. I mean, I love Manny being the captain, whether he's a dirty player or whatever you want to call it, whether Tatis is a dirty player, or, I mean, all these guys are superstars, bro. They make baseball exciting. I mean, I've said it plenty of times, like, Padres baseball is exciting. I mean, it hasn't been the last couple of weeks, but it really is exciting to watch every single time when you get a chance. Like, you just don't know what could happen.
Yeah, and that's part of it as well. Is like they're not just a good team, but they have the exciting players as well. When you have someone like Nando that can rob 4 home runs in a season, you have Manny playing the defense that he can play at third base. Sure, we can be frustrated with their offensive performance at times, other guys on the team as well, but they're ridiculously talented, and there are plenty of fan bases around baseball that would take those guys in a heartbeat because they don't have those talents on their team. They would take being a Padres fan in a heartbeat because of what they have to go through. So, and we were one of those fan bases years ago where we would be like, can we be another fan base, or at least have the resources that they have? But no, now we're in that fortunate position, and it's something that the city deserves.
Oh, 100%. And you know what? That sets us up just perfectly. So we got another question coming through the Instagram. You might not be able to see the Instagram on your screen, but right here from Link Fighter OG, he's dropping in this question. He's saying, if we didn't win the championship with Juan Soto back in 2022, who do we need to take it, and I'm guessing to take the World Series. So what is your opinion, Ben? Who do the Padres need to bring in to really take it all the way and hoist that trophy?
I thought last year was their best shot to do it until they go acquire Mason Miller at the deadline, and then they had the big five in the bullpen. It was like, all right, now they have another opportunity. I'm not saying they don't this year, but I'm not thinking like, okay, because last year I was thinking they can go win the whole thing. This year I don't have that frame of mind. Anything can happen, but maybe it's the way the team's been playing recently. But that Jason Adam injury, I know it's a reliever, but that is a huge deal. Not having Joe Musgrove, David Morgan just went down. I know the Dodgers, like, they're not playing that well, and if there's a year to get them, like, you can get them this year. But last year was also a year to get them. You had the series lead, and then the offense went silent. And so maybe it's some of the flashbacks there where it's like, will they be able to not be silent when they have a series lead next up? In a NLDS coming up if they get past a wild card series against probably the Cubs at Wrigley. So who do they need to go get? I mean, that changes every year based on who becomes available before the trade deadline. I can't really give you like this obvious name in free agency because it doesn't seem like this team is going to spend a ton of money in free agency. It's going to be the smaller guys that we're not really thinking about, which that's what it's been the last couple of years. And I wasn't thinking about Nick Pivetta, sure wasn't thinking about Gavin Sheets, but look at what he's done. So can't really give you an answer. I guess how I would answer that is I feel like last year was their best chance to do it. Um, Anything can, kind of like 2022 now, anything can happen going into this postseason. Be playing good baseball the last couple weeks, and then I'll feel better about their chances.
Ooh, I think we're about
Yeah,
low on our battery.
yeah, no, I hear you, bro. I mean, you might not be able to see us through the YouTube right now, but don't forget we're still here with Ben from Talking Friars. We're changing the camera on the YouTube real quick, but Ben, thanks for that answer, dude. I think it really puts it into perspective. Now I 100% agree. I think 2024 was probably the best chance for the Padres to really take it all the way. Those 24 scoreless really hurt them, but I don't know, man. I feel like AJ has addressed most of the holes that this team had, whether it was on the field or through the pitching. Uh, I don't. I mean, you could always use another bat, another big bat, but it really just takes a mindset, and it takes the whole club to be clicking at the right time because we've seen it this season. You got moments where the offense is good, but the pitching is bad, and then vice versa. The pitching is good, and then the offense is bad. So I don't know if it's that the team needs another player. They just need to really be in sync. At least that's how I think about the Padres. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you were to get like I don't know, like Will Smith or a big name like that, or somehow snag a guy from the Blue Jays, dude. I'm blanking out on his name right now, dude. Ah, I'm not gonna remember his name, but you know, like we already have plenty of superstars. You don't need another superstar. You just need the team to really produce to a high caliber, which they're capable of. We saw it the first couple of weeks of the season here at Petco, and then all of a sudden those Padres just vanished. So, Brody, OG, I hope that answers your question. I don't know if it did or not, but yeah, man. At the end of the day, the Padres just got to play better and really get in sync to really push it to where they need to go.
Yeah,
Or, or
it's not about additions really. Of course, before every trade deadline every year, you're going to find holes, so you're like you got to fill that hole. But we've seen many years as Padres fans. You think you fill a hole and then either someone gets hurt or that guy ends up underperforming. You could go to Adam Frazier years ago. Freddie Fermin got off to a great start and then has struggled offensively since. Um, you know, you thought like, oh, super bullpen this year, and then Jason Adam gets hurt, David Morgan goes down, Estrada's been struggling, so things happen, and so yeah, like you say, I think it's more about guys doing their jobs more than what another superstar do we need to bring in.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And I feel like Jason Adam going down is really gonna end up hurting in the postseason.
Yep.
And I don't know if you were there at that game, but I was there, dude, and it was weird. It was a weird moment because like no, check it out. So like it was just weird because like I don't remember if it was after or before, but Arias got his 1,000th hit, and it just happened all to be in the same game. So I think Adam went down before his 1,000th hit, and then everybody went silent, and it changed the vibe completely. And then Arias get his 1,000th hit. Nobody really understood what was going on until they put it up on the board, and then now we're cheering again. Like it, it summed up the season so well. Like everybody's quiet because it's going bad, and then all of a sudden it just got good again. But it was still like super bittersweet, especially for Adam, dude. Like I felt that like I do wish him nothing but the best, and I really do want him to return to MLB, but that type of injury at his age, it looks scary, bro. Like you never know if he's gonna end up returning to the show, because I mean, pitchers do need their legs.
Yeah, it was awkward. I was watching that. I wasn't at the game, but I was watching, and you're right. Like how quiet it got, and then you see him laying down there, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard something pop," and you knew he was done, and this is trouble. And then he gets carted off, and got me a little emotional seeing Padres fans, like everyone giving him a standing ovation as he's getting carted off. Just the love that we had for that, and we just know how important he is to this team. And it really felt like that day may have changed the entire Padres season. And I mean, I hope we win the World Series, but I feel like one of the what ifs of this season is going to be what if Jason Adam didn't get hurt? What would have this season turned out to be? Because last postseason, can't speak for what's going to happen this postseason, but last postseason, the most important, or the guy that I trusted the most in that bullpen was Jason Adam, not Robert Suarez, not Tanner Scott. It was Jason Adam, and he would have been right up there, right alongside Mason Miller. I know that going into October, and now that we don't have him, you need more from your starters. You need more from other guys that you probably didn't want pitching. If you're, telling the full truth in a sixth inning of a playoff game, you're going to need those guys to come through. Because like Jason Adam, he was pitching in the fifth inning in some of these games once they acquired Mason Miller. So what's going to happen if a starter struggles? How are you going to be able to get through a game? So yeah, I know he's a reliever, but he's one of the most important pieces on this team.
Couldn't agree more, bro. Definitely. Still miss him to this day. I wish him the best, and I hope he returns as a Padre. Don't know if it will happen, but overall, I do want to see him in the show at least a few more innings. All right, Bruce, what else you got, bro?
What else I got? Man, what I want to ask what you have in your collection, because I see the jersey in the back. What's one of your favorite memorabilia from the Padres that you have in your collections at this time?
Oh, I have a lot of signed baseballs.
I bet.
Will Myers obviously wasn't the best Padre, but he was one of my favorites. Just someone that loved the city. Obviously, what happened in 22, buying the whole, I think multiple bars, just buying everyone drinks. But
Legend.
he was someone that just was like a cool San Diegan to have on your team. Like the no batting gloves, played multiple positions, kind of seemed like a guy that just showed up to the ball yard and played. What I will appreciate about him, like what I always appreciated about him, was when he was the face of the franchise when he didn't want to be.
Yeah.
And even after, like he always took the time to be like that fan first guy, signing autographs for fans, taking pictures with fans. I have a ton of Will Myers autographs because of how many times he took time for fans. So I did appreciate that from him. And he was like the one guy that was there for the crappy part and was there for 2022. He obviously won at the World Series, but for him, part of why I was emotional was because of him too, getting to see him experience that because of all the crappy baseball that he had to play. You know, whether that was going and having to play third base in September, you know, when like nobody's in the ballpark. But like fans, diehard fans, remember those moments. He was a member of the Padres. You know, when they're giving up 4 homers in a row, when Craig Stammen's giving up back to back to back to back home runs against the Nats, like he was through all that, and then got to experience 2022. So Will was one of those. Musgrove. Um, a lot of them are from when I was younger because I don't do as much autographs and pictures anymore, just because time wise,
Yeah.
it doesn't totally line up. But um, hmm. when I was really young, I was a part of the Junior Aztecs, and so I got Tony Gwynn because when he was coaching there. This isn't Padres, but I've gotten Strasburg when he was at San Diego State before he obviously ended up being what he was.
Ooh,
Oh shit.
nice.
Um, yeah, so you know Mark McGuire when he was a Padres coach, that's obviously a big autograph for those that were alive. Obviously, when he was mashing homers like that. There's a bunch of others that of players like Bryce Harper. I have a signed jersey from him. Um, Guys that I love that weren't Padres. Um, but yeah, for Padres, that's not even the big. Like Will isn't the biggest one that I have. Like I have Trevor Hoffman, I have Tony, but that's the one that like sticks out to me because that was like the main guy um, that was through the bad and then got to experience the good, and so he's definitely one that stands out.
And it's funny. I talk about it with one of my other friends outside of the podcast, and it's like Will Myers looks like such a laid back. Like he fits in San Diego. It looks like such a cool dude. I mean, right now he's golfing or whatever,
Every
but
day.
like he's the type of guy that you could actually like just pull up and chill with, and maybe even grab a beer or something. Like he looks just like the coolest dude.
Yeah, for sure. I got that vibe too. Whenever I was around him, which I'm not acting like I was friends with the guy, but yeah, whenever he'd stop to take a picture, sign autographs for fans, like he was always really cool, and I appreciated that.
All right, buddy. Well, last question on my end. Nothing too serious, but for you, Ben, favorite current Padre, and also, I mean, favorite Padre of all time.
Okay, so growing up, huge Khalil Green fan. I still have that
Ooh.
like small kids jersey, Khalil Green. I have a Tony Gwynn Jr. one too when he was number 18. Um, so that's the guy I immediately go to, like all time. Um, but now, like the slam dunk answer is Joe Musgrove. It's Musgrove, it's Merrill, and it's Cronenworth. I liked Cronin, and this was before the 2022 big hit that he had, but just that he was the team guy. He once was like the 26th man on the roster, and then Haas had like the illness, and he takes over at first base, and then obviously the rest is history. But someone that was willing to play like every position. He wasn't the biggest name coming up, um, but just someone that gets dirty. He really cares. You see him, you know, with the f bombs after every strikeout. Like I want guys that cares. And Merrill cares. Crony cares. Joe Musgrove, obviously being the San Diego kid, like I'm biased towards those guys. And so the story, and you know, I've gotten to talk with his mom, and she's amazing. Just he went to my rival high school too, so it is pretty cool seeing him have that success. But um, yeah, like these guys, I'm big on people that it's like they'll die in that uniform, you know. And Crony and Merrill and Joe, I think they all fit that. Do I like watching Manny play? Yeah. Do I like watching Nando play? Yeah. They're really talented. But those guys, as much as I love Manny, I'm not the biggest fan of when he grounds out. You know, he doesn't even make it to first base. I like guys that are going to hustle. And Manny gets dirty, and obviously very talented, future Hall of Famer. But I tend to gravitate towards those that aren't like the face of the franchise.
Well said, dude. I mean, I'm a huge Cronenworth fan myself, and I mean Merrill with that season that he had last year. I mean, I think everybody loves Merrill. I think all the kids now want to be number 3 out there in the baseball field. So, yeah, well, good, great picks right there, bro.
How much he wants to win is what all three of those guys. How much they want to win really stands out to me.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. I love his interviews. Like Jackson Merrill, he don't care about nothing. He just wants to win and he just wants to play ball, dude. It's hardcore.
Yep.
Hey, brother. Well, before we let you go, you got anything coming up anytime soon? Any new interviews you might want to plug in right now before we let you go?
Yeah, so I don't have any like big interviews lined up. Those kind of happen based on things that I see, and then I reach out and we'll see what happens. But you can just expect consistent content from me, reactions on games, and giving my thoughts on this team as we go through this stretch and obviously into October. But yeah, I just love communicating with the Padres community. Um, those that don't know about me, I'm on Instagram, Talking Friars. I'm on Twitter, Talking Friars, on YouTube. You can listen to the YouTube show on the podcast platforms as well. I think pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. I know it's on Apple. I know it's on Spotify. Just look up the show name, Talking Friars, and you'll find it. But yeah, just like I said earlier, just another fan that is really passionate about this team, and I love talking about it with others that are just as passionate about it as I am.
Sick. Well, hey man, we're gonna have to like create a group text or something. I'm down to talk a little bit more Padres with you, bro. I mean, I know this is more an interview with us here at the Kick It Podcast, but I would love to talk a lot more Padres with you when the time comes.
Yeah, of course.
Sick. Well, Bruce, any last thing you might got?
Any last things? I do want to go ahead and give a quick shout out of this past weekend recap that we had. Shout out to the Boys and Girls Club of Vista for having Oside Lens is me running the sound and the music for the golf course tournament that they had hosting to raise funds up for their organizations. And shout out to St. Mark's Golf Club for having us there as well. Saturday, shout out to Mass Strange for opening up their second location right there, Redondo Drive, right there in Deep Valley of Osai. Shout out to the Loop Bros. And shout out to everybody that attended to the watch party for Canelo and Crawford. That was a sick night, and I hope everyone had a great time. And once again, shout out to people pulling up to Galindo's second annual RC car show that happened this Sunday here in Oceanside. They had Oside Lens and Louie right there running the music and the sound. So shout out to everybody that attended, and shout out to all the homeboys I got to see, and shout out to Galindo's once again for having a great show. Yeah.
All right, dope.
It was a packed weekend.
It's always a packed weekend out here in North County, dude. How about you, Ben? Any last couple of shout outs you might want to? We still got a few minutes, bro. Anything?
No, I'm just thankful for those that have followed me. There's people that have followed me, almost since day one, and then there are people that are just starting to. Fans that come up to me at Petco. Really love you guys, so appreciate you.
Hey, well, thanks again, Ben, for taking the time from your busy schedule and joining us here at the Kick It Podcast. I mean, I feel like it was kind of like a crossover or like a collaboration type of content, because like I feel like this is like your show, bro. Like it's like split screen. Like
Yep.
yeah, this is dope.
Pretty similar. Yeah, I use the same platform that you guys do, so yeah.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Sick.
Hey, everybody's using it now, dude. So can't if you can't beat them, join them, right?
There you go.
Sick. All right, brother. Well, once again, Ben from Talking Friars joining us here at the Kick It Podcast. Brother, thank you so much for joining us. I hope everybody enjoyed the interview. I know they will, dude, and I know they did. And we'll be posting clips. We'll be shooting them your way. So let's keep on going. As my boy Len says, you are now officially baptized and part of the Kick It family. So you're welcome anytime, brother. Just let us know.
No, thank you guys. I'll promote this. Just send me the link, and yeah, you got it.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll do it again soon, brother. All right. We'll catch you next time. Thank you, Ben. And let's go Padres. Let's kick ass in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yep. And with that being mentioned, we appreciate everyone tapping in. Catch us around next time. Yo, thank you for sipping up with us. Thank you for talking up with us. Thank you for kicking it.